AMA 12. 12. So this is Hafen City. Cruising ships arrive here, the university is here, Elbphilly, so the concert house is here. Why do I mention that? I don't know. I'm also a tour guide in my part-time. How can you collaborate more effectively and convincingly in tools such as G Suite and Teams? These are completely different things. G Suite is like Office 365. It's a whole suite of tools, and Teams is one tool within Office 365. But why are these tools so effectively? So the core idea behind these tools is you connect people on a platform and you actually keep information transparent. I think I get the background of the question. So people don't understand, why do you need a tool like that? This is more than just a tool. It's an Office suite. So there is a tool to do concept work, to like write on presentations, on sheets, on documents and so on. And with one search you find any document you have. And for example, within G Suite, search is very, very powerful and core of the tool. Within Office 365, there are like big differences between these tools. We will link a video that I made dedicated on these two tools here. But there are tools like Teams, which is more like a Slack, like a chat tool. What is so effectively? Same idea, transparency. Transparency over what the teams do. And this is the core idea in both worlds. They are just very different when it comes to the details, but the transparency in search or in what people do is the core idea. That's what making people more effectively. Actually, two questions. Number one, what do you think about latest Google product for G Suite Hangout Chat? Do you think that Google decides to kill email and seriously compete with Slack, Fleep and other similar tools like Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business? There is Google Meet, which improved video a lot, and then you have the actual chat tool, which is kind of like Slack competitor, Teams competitor. I think Slack is very, very well established, and too many people stick to that platform because in many companies you have this lost in the cloud setup with many different cloud tools. There are a few companies very focused on one tool set. I have no idea what the strategical decision of them is and what they plan to do. I think it's an important move. I also said a couple of times that it's very late that they moved. Microsoft Teams was much earlier on that, not as well executed, but much earlier, so they improved it now. I made a video on Slack and Teams, so have a look at that if you like. That was a first comparison, but that's actually a good video for a dedicated YouTube video we will shoot. MP, keep that in mind, please. Number two, where are you taking from such a cool music tracks of your videos? Well, there are different tools online like Artlist.io, Audio Jungle, there is Audio Socket. There are so many different royalty-free music on the web. You actually pay for the tracks, but since it's royalty-free music, you can then use it. There's also within YouTube, there are tracks that you can use, but usually you heard them a couple of times, so they're not that nice. So use one of these sources. MP, we can link some of the links below. Good. It seems that you have quite a packed schedule. Is your weekend routine different from your week routine? Are you doing your morning routine on the weekend? Do you work on weekends? My wife would say, yes, I work a lot on weekends, but it got a lot less with kids. The morning routine is the same. I don't differentiate between days doing my morning routine. For example, tonight my wife was gone on a quick retreat. She wasn't there, so I had the kids. So I didn't do my morning routine that I usually would do that early. But I still try to stick to that. I don't see why you should have different routines on week or weekends. What I try to do though is have time dedicated for my kids on the weekend. I also take off on Friday afternoon for my kids, so same stuff. It's a packed schedule, but to me a packed schedule means you have the freedom to choose. I mean, I own the calendar, I make the decision, not someone else. So I can say I have my kids or I take time off, so that's how I do it. Use it as a tool. Last question, how would you implement a social intranet within a big company? What are your most important tips for a good start? Simple, very simple. Why do you want to do that? What is your goal behind it? And we have this tool called Collaboration Performance Map. We also link it here, or link it below because it's on the website. You can use it. I made a video about it. And the core question is, how do we want to collaborate in the company? Why do you want a social intranet? Make sure you leverage tools that the people actually use and already use, and you optimize them. The most astonishing thing is that most people are not capable, and this is not as it sounds like, but most people are not capable because it's not their job to use the tools they currently have to the full potential. So help them to use the tools to the full potential, and make sure if you want to really implement a new tool like a social intranet, you make crystal clear why you want to do that. And then, for example, make a video and communicate it. That's what we do when we start projects. We do a lot of videos and communicate why we do that. Thanks, that was a great question. I will grab something for breakfast. Wie weit muss ich gehen?